WWF SmackDown changed the game. We can all agree on that, right? Coming from Warzone and Attitude, SmackDown was the first great 3D WWF video game. I mean on PlayStation, obviously. Nintendo got WrestleMania 2000 in 1999. Every kid with an N64 was doing just fine. Don't worry about them. But me? Probably many of you out there watching this video, we still had Attitude. This was the best we had. And we made do. I'm not trying to complain too much. When you're that age, you just gotta get in where you fit in, right? But then it happened. SmackDown came along in March of 2000 and gave WWF fans with PlayStations a new king of the digital ring to contend with. But what many of us did not know at the time was SmackDown was not entirely original, nor was it the first of its kind. Looks a little familiar, doesn't it? Today on Triangle X Squared Circle, the Wrestling Game Retrospective Series, we set our sights on the game that WWF SmackDown was born from. This is Power Move Pro Wrestling. Every video here on 616 Entertainment is made possible by my supporters over on Patreon. If you enjoyed the show here today, consider signing up. You'll get early access, exclusive videos and podcasts, and more. Pro Wrestling Tees has the merch. As always, thank you for watching. Power Move Pro Wrestling looks a lot like WWF SmackDown because SmackDown basically is Power Move Pro Wrestling, only expanded upon and improved in practically every way. What I'm saying is, SmackDown was built from the foundation of Power Move. How is that possible? Well, both games were developed by the same team, that being Yuke's. We're all familiar with this logo, right? We saw this flash across the screen for the better part of 2 decades, every single time we fired up our favorite wrestling games. Back in the Power Move days, Yuke's looked like this. This was 1996, predating the WWF's blue branded title by 4 years. 5 years, if we're going by the Japanese release of Power Move, which, over there, had a different name. Toukan Retsuden, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, was New Japan Pro Wrestling's flagship video game franchise on the PlayStation. As the story goes, Activision picked up the rights to publish the game in the West. Conversations were had that basically boiled down to nobody here has any idea what the hell New Japan is. It's gonna confuse them. They're gonna wonder what the hell happened to Old Japan. Cut it. Get all this out of here. The NJPW logos were stripped out. The New Japan wrestlers like Jushin Thunder Liger, Tatsumi Fujinami, and Keiji Muto were all replaced by generic characters, and the game's title was updated to Power Move Pro Wrestling, which was more easily palatable, I guess, for us morons across the world. I do find it odd that the New Japan name does appear in Power Move Pro Wrestling. It's in text, only at the main menu, but it is here. And if you want to make this whole thing extra confusing, this same process of, hey, take the Japanese wrestling game and rebrand it, was done for Virtual Pro Wrestling. Over here, we knew that game as WCW versus the World. How about that, right? It's funny that Power Move Pro Wrestling came out 5 years before WWF SmackDown, because there are features here that are missing here. Now enough case and disc show and tell. Let me show you in detail through gameplay. This is gameplay from WWF SmackDown. Stone Cold versus Triple H, a tale as old as time. The game goes down from the stunner, and what's missing here? Notice anything odd? Who counted to 3? Run it again, and where is the referee? There is no referee. Not in SmackDown. Flashback 5 years to Power Move Pro Wrestling, and let me talk to you about Rathburn Sally. Sally's here to count the pinfalls, to gauge the submissions, and to call the rope breaks. And holy hell does he call the rope breaks. Yes, Sally is a man. I guess it's like when a guy named Salvatore has a nickname or something. I don't know. Sally calls rope breaks like I call Palermo's for dinner. How you doing? And by that, I mean way too often and to the point that it's ill-advised. Sally, we are nowhere near the ropes. For the love of all things sacred, just count the 3. For real though, having a referee in the ring was awesome. Look at WCW's fantastic games on the N64. No referee in World Tour. Revenge had the caricature of Mark Curtis. I appreciate that. WCW vs. the World, WWF Warzone, WCW Mayhem. Where are the referees? Power Move Pro Wrestling respected the official, man. I like that. WWF SmackDown had ring entrances, or something like ring entrances. Just a character model walking against a giant screen that remains directly behind the wrestler in question at all times, regardless of where the camera moved, which breaks the laws of physics in more ways than one, but nobody's introducing the wrestler on their way to the ring. Flash over to Power Move.
Gorgon! Single match, 60 minutes. In the blue corner, ay caramba! What's all the shaking and thunder? At 5'10" and 193 pounds, the Mexican Earthquake, El Temblor. Earthquake. At 6'2", 257 pounds, he's the guy who gets all the ladies and some of the men. Lance Dulac. Referee Rothburn Sully.
This ring announcer goes by the name of Gorgon, and he's voiced by the one and only Tom Kane, who you absolutely know, whether you're aware of it or not. Tom Kane played him, and even him in voice only in Halloween H2O. Tom Kane's a legend, man. Give me one more call, Gorgon. Man, these are so awesome.
Some say he's 6 foot in height, possibly 240 pounds. The man the government denies, Area 51.
Area 51!
And he's not the only one who speaks. Listen to the crowd. If you get your brains bashed in for long enough, the audience will chant your name, powering you up and making it easier for you to kick out of pin attempts. Crowd chants and shouts were seen in the Acclaim games like Warzone and Attitude, but, and this is what we're comparing to, they're nowhere to be found in SmackDown. Really strange, right? Now we've got to focus on the gameplay, and if you've been paying very close attention, you might already have a couple questions. I'll test out my psychic abilities here. You can let me know in the comments how well I did, okay? I am of the mind that you feel as though you're seeing a lot of the same moves over and over. You are questioning whether the movesets themselves are extremely shallow. Huh? How'd I do? Even if these are the same vertical suplexes and diving knee drops that we know and love from SmackDown, these are not the deep and varied loadouts that we know and love from SmackDown. And by that, I mean each wrestler has about 6 moves. Yeah, not exactly setting any world records here, right? Triangle, usually, is a submission move. Triangle and a direction is another submission move. Circle is a grapple. Circle and a direction is another grapple. Get your opponent groggy and your 2 circle moves transform into 2 heavier moves. That's about it. Go behind your opponent, you got a couple more. There's that. You've got submissions at the head and feet on the ground. Throw a guy off the ropes and you got something here. But this is it. SmackDown tying a different move to left, right, up, and down, both from the ready and groggy states, is light years beyond anything Power Move has to offer. From The Judge to Zombie, from Area 51 to Agent Orange, we've got a roster of 12 playable wrestlers to start with. Unfortunately, even with the extremely shallow movesets, most of these guys are still sharing the majority of their maneuvers. And when you're not used to who is who just yet, sometimes you can get tripped up. In this match, you would assume the guy wearing bright fucking orange is probably the guy with orange in his name, right? Well, it isn't. That's Chain Gang. Amazing. One annoying aspect is that you are going to have to go out of your way to win matches by pinfall, as more often than not, a random-ass side headlock is going to be enough to earn a submission. I'm serious. I had to make a conscious effort to not apply a hold in the later stages of a match if I wanted any footage of a 3 count. It's a problem. One of the more interesting features here in Power Move is the ability to play a match and save it. Not highlights, not the final 30 seconds leading into the finish. I'm talking about the entire thing, as if you had popped a tape into your VCR and pressed record. And yeah, tape. This was 1995 in Japan, 1996 in the States. Back then, we taped things that we wanted to keep. I know, because I was there. UFC 82, I don't. Dan Henderson versus Anderson Silva. This means I was still taping things in 2008. Goodness gracious. But look, my dad was a big fight fan, as was I. He had a garbage work schedule, and if there was a big main event to a pay-per-view, if there was a big title fight and he didn't want to miss it, I would pop a tape in the VCR and hit record so that we could catch up on it the next day. Great memories, man. Great memories. While I'm talking about my dad, here's a little story for you. Power Move offers the player a choice. Do you want the camera on the first floor or up in the balcony? I don't know who the hell would want the camera all the way up here. It's a little disorienting, but it made me think of something my dad said one time while we were watching Nitro. It was Chris Jericho versus Booker T, and they did that thing that they do when you have a large house. They pulled the camera way back so that you could see at home how many people were in the arena. And I remember my dad standing there going like, look how big that crowd is. Oh, these seats would be terrible though. From up here it would just look like a black bowling pin smashing into a white bowling pin. Which is an amazing line that I remember to this day. Oh man, he had a way with words. After Cain Velasquez nearly beat him to death, my dad described Antonio Bigfoot Silva as looking like 30 miles of bad road. Another legendary line. We can hold championship matches, the records of which are kept on our memory card, which is cool. We can run tournaments, both standard, single elimination style, and round robin, which is as Japanese as it gets. And those are about our only options. There are 0 gimmick matches to speak of, and geez, we don't even have tag team wrestling. 1-on-1, every time. That's it. The title matches don't come with any representation of the belt, which is a bummer for a belt mark like me. But on the plus side, we can unlock a few more characters to mess around with, including the ring announcer, Gorgon, as well as the referee, Rathburn Sally. This is going to sound funny, but Sally is without a doubt one of the best and most fun wrestlers on the roster. His shooting star press is out of control.
15 minutes. 1, 2, 3.
And if we can turn over to another unlockable wrestler, Sparrow, check out the green mist. Gee, I wonder whose model Sparrow was painted over from the original game, right? Power Move Pro Wrestling is a game that I feel not that many people owned back in the day. And being that it did not get a PlayStation Greatest Hits re-release, you know what I'm talking about, the fancy green label, we know that Power Move did not sell over 150,000 copies. Now, if we're just being honest with ourselves, I think it's pretty clear that it probably did not even approach that number. My personal recollection with Power Move Pro Wrestling, because yes, I do have one, is as follows. It was 1998, I was at a friend's house and we were flipping through his PlayStation games, messing around and looking for something to play. Being that it was 1998, wrestling was all the rage. When I saw Power Move in his collection, I was excited. What was this? What the hell is Power Move? Who are all of these guys? We got it running and I thought it was amazing. Seriously, I had WCW Nitro at home. Power Move buried Nitro. I was so excited when I found out that the guy that I thought looked the coolest also had my favorite wrestler's move. Yeah, Area 51 can apply the Scorpion Deathlock. We played a match or two. I specifically remember being disqualified by the referee at one point for not breaking my Scorpion Deathlock while the ref was counting to 5. And for the record, I did not break the hold because I didn't know how. And then that was it. We just went and did something else, or it was lunchtime or something. I have no idea. But that was it for like 20 years. Those were the memories I held on to. Cool game. That blue guy I played as, and I think he had Sting's moves. That was pretty cool. That's all I had. Those were my memories. And if you want to know what's really sad about it, I don't even know which friend that was. It must have been somebody that I got along with at school whose house I went to maybe 2 or 3 times, and I eventually moved away and I haven't heard from him since. So Brian, Mike, Eddie, or Ricky, whichever one of you that was, we had fun that day. I enjoyed playing Power Move Pro Wrestling with you, and I hope you're well. You will never see this, but I hope you are well. In coming back to Power Move Pro Wrestling, I enjoyed that nostalgic overload. After 30 or 45 minutes, though, I'd seen and done pretty much everything there is to see and do. Is this a bad game? No, I don't think that would be fair to say. From the limited movesets and nothing in terms of gimmick matches, this game feels like it's 20 years old. And, well, it's because it is. But even if it does feel dated, let's look at what else we had on the PlayStation in that era. WCW vs. the World would come a little later, and that one's good, but Nitro? Garbage. Thunder? Even worse. WrestleMania the arcade game and In Your House are novelties, but they're like, not really wrestling games, you know? For its time, Power Move was pretty impressive. It reviewed well, and in what might be the most amazing line in any review that year, Next Generation magazine famously stated, "If there's a game that screams for a WWF license and a US release, this is the one." A few short years later, Power Move's developer Ukes would form a tag team with the World Wrestling Federation. In March of 2000, the new standard in PlayStation wrestling games would arrive. Today, we raise a glass to the game that kicked it all off. Power Move Pro Wrestling, this one's for you. Oh, there it is, Dan Dans. That's my Triangle X Squared Circle retrospective on Power Move Pro Wrestling. This is a game that I have wanted to cover since I created this show in 2019. Man, I've been doing this for a long time. There's not that much to say as far as the gameplay is concerned, so I wanted to make sure that when the time came to write about this one, when the time came to finally check it off the list, I wanted to make sure that I had the proper angle, something that was really interesting to dive into, and I hope that I have accomplished that here today. And now I'm hoping that you are going to share your stories with me down in the comments. Do you have a mystery friend that you experienced Power Move Pro Wrestling with for the first time? Did you own this game? Have you never heard of it before and this entire thing was news to you? Let me know. I'm very excited to go through the comments, as always. Patreon.com/616entertainment or right here under a YouTube channel membership is how you can support me, support the channel, support my work. Look, I tell you all the time, I'm a one-man crew. I write these videos, I shoot these videos, I edit them, I upload them. It's all me. It's a lot of work for one guy. So if you enjoyed this video, if you watch this channel all the time, consider signing up. Wouldn't piss me off, and I would really appreciate having you in my corner. Thank you for watching, and until next time, I love you, and I will see you soon.